Hi, I'll be the therapist in session 1. Today we're going to educate the client and his family on the informed consent form, breaches of confidentiality, therapist-client privilege, and any release forms that might have to be signed. Hi guys, thank you guys for coming in today. What brings you into therapy, Christian?
I've just been having a lot of trouble sleeping, lots of nightmares, and I feel like my anxiety has been really bad lately.
And we're definitely going to get a chance to explore that. Today I really want to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about the informed consent form. Talk about different situations where confidentiality might be breached, and possible release forms, assessments, and etc. Just based on the intake we did over the phone. Okay. Awesome. Cool. So let's talk about breaches of confidentiality first. So the different times that might have to breach our confidentiality agreements are in the case of there's any kind of child abuse situations, any kind of suicide or homicidality, or any kind of elder abuse. And elder abuse is for 65 and older. Okay. Do you guys have any questions on breaches of confidentiality? Grace, Mia? No? Okay. Then the other thing is privilege of information. So I'll be taking notes, providing summaries, etc. on records. So in the case of any kind of like lawsuits or etc., the privilege of your records are yours, and if I'm ever subpoenaed to go to court, I will stick up for you and say that I'm taking the privilege of the client, and then unless you release the information, I'm not allowed to give any kind of records to the court. Does that make sense?
How would I release the information?
I would talk to you about it, and we would have a consultation, and then we would go through a release of information form where we discuss what the implications would be and what kind of information I might be releasing in regards to our sessions.
Are you going to help my big daughter?
I will try my best. Therapy is not always, there's no definite results for therapy, right? But what we hope to do is we hope to explore some of the issues that Christian is having. And during that time, there might be some ups and there might be some downs. But ultimately, my goal is to help you get better.
Awesome. See, Christian wants to go to bed.
That's very kind of you to say. So during our sessions, there might be times where I provide assessments. So assessments may include kind of like abuse assessments or suicide assessments or anything like that. And just know that any of the assessments that we're doing, I'll tell you before we start the assessment, just so you're aware that we are doing an assessment. And the assessment is stays between us. And if there are any issues that come from the assessment, I will inform you before any kind of breaches of confidentiality occurs. Okay. And then the last thing is release forms. If I ever need to talk to your psychiatrist or your counselors or any friends and families, I'll always talk to you about it first and get release information before I speak to anybody else about our sessions or etc. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. So that's basically. Do you guys have any questions about the informed consent?
No?
Well,
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no problem.
Hi, for session 2, I will be the therapist and I will be working with Christian and the family, just like session 1. The goal will be to increase healthy family relationships to reduce the need to create unhealthy ones. I will be using a genogram to identify multi-generational patterns within the family.
Hi guys, so thank you guys so much for coming back. I know the first session we went over the informed consent. Do you guys have any more questions about?
No, it was all clear.
Awesome. So today I'm just going to ask you guys a couple questions, some to your mom, some to your sister, and to you, Christian, just to kind of get an understanding of the family. Is that okay?
Yeah, I have a older brother named Joel.
Elliot.
And I hear you were adopted, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, we adopted Christian when he was 4, and 3 years later we adopted Mia. We have an older son also.
Oh, so he was also adopted.
Yes.
And how's that going with Big Brother? I know you didn't have a Big Brother before.
I mean, I think it was okay. You know, we talk and we hang out, but you know, I don't really have much to compare it to.
I feel like you understand him so much.
Is that one time?
You don't understand him so much?
It was hard to relate at some points. But I think that's natural given our circumstances.
Absolutely. And for you, you know, I know Christian was only 4 years old. There's only so much you can remember. How was it with Elliot and Christian?
Elliot and Christian, we had a really tough time blending in, but you know, that's why we're here. When we first got Christian, it was a little hard for him to adjust. He would fight a lot. They would get into like wrestling matches, but it's still tough, but we're working through it.
Awesome. Do you still talk to Elliot? I know you go off to college.
Not too much. You know, we see each other during holidays and etc. But even during that time, it's sometimes hard to relate information to him. So,
Absolutely. And how's the relationship with Mia?
it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
You know, we chat every couple of weeks on the phone. Mia likes to tell me all about her high school stories, etc. So that's a good relationship, I guess.
That's awesome. Good to hear. And for you, Mom, tell me, what kind of family was your family, your parents? How did you grow up?
I have three siblings. I have a sister and a brother. We grew up in a very privileged life. We're all physicians. Myself, my brother, and my sister. We all have a great, very proud parents. We all overall had a great childhood. Great memories. We always had family time.
Your parents married?
Yes.
Are you married?
Yes. Very happy.
And are you the oldest sibling, youngest sibling? Middle child. Okay. Can you tell me more about, did you become a doctor because your older sibling was a doctor and you felt like you had to do that, or were you always interested in medicine as well?
I was always interested in medicine. I think it was just the way we were brought up. We didn't question it when we were younger. We were just introduced to that field, and all 3 of us picked it up pretty easily.
So your family introduced you to that?
Yes. Since we were children.
And now Christian going to college, did you want him to do that, or?
Of course, definitely.
And how did you go, Christian? Did you want to go to school?
I think it's tough being away, but I think that it's good for the future. You know, trying to figure out what my next steps are and trying to learn a little bit more about the world and business and etc.
Very proud mom.
And how are you with your brother away?
I miss Christian a lot. Christian's a really great, protective older brother. Not that Elliot's not great, it's just
It's not that great.
Christian dotes on me, so I don't like it when he's not around. And now that he's gone, all his cute friends are gone too.
You guys are close in age, I see, yeah?
Yeah.
How much you guys have 3 years difference? And you said you were married. Where's your husband today?
He's out with for a business meeting.
He's also a doctor, you said, right?
Yes.
So you guys grew up with pretty strict rules around the house, and education is definitely a priority for you guys.
Education was key, definitely. Higher education. I don't understand how this is so relative for Christian. Like, we're here for him. I would just want to focus on him as opposed to my past and my other children.
I understand that,
Focus on Christian.
I'm trying to put Christian in here and see, how you grew up and how that impacts, of course, the life of your children as well as also.
I grew up fine.
So I understand that you grew up fine, and I understand the frustration. Therapy takes time, and I have to understand where you are the family, his relationship with his sibling, and his friends and family, and it's really important to get to know. So I understand it can be a little frustrating, but please be a little bit patient with me.
So I'll be the therapist in the third session, and I'll be working only with Christian, and our goal is to reduce the triangulation between Christian and Elena and his dead mother, and to reduce the anxiety and dependence that he's experiencing. The intervention that I'm going to be using is cognitive behavioral triangle, which is going to allow me to determine his thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. So Christian, how's your week going?
Okay, I got some bad news this week.
Oh no, what was the news?
I think Elena's husband might have figured out we have a relationship, and she's kind of threatening to terminate it.
Oh, so she's threatening to terminate your relationship. What do you mean by terminate your relationship?
I think all of it. I think she just wants to not talk to me anymore. We're too important, so we can't just have a normal grab coffee kind of relationship.
So she's talking about complete cutoff
Yeah.
of your guys' relationship. I imagine that that's probably been some really difficult news for you to hear. I know that although you don't consider her to know the real you, you still really value her relationship, and it still fulfills a need that you have, a need for a close, intimate relationship.
Yeah, she's the only one who understands me. My own brother or sister, they'll never understand me or my family like she does.
Yeah, I know you've expressed that you don't feel very understood by your family. So should this outcome occur, should Elena choose that she needs to separate from you for the sake of her marriage, how is that going to make you feel?
Afraid, alone, anxious. I don't want it to happen. It can't happen. It can't.
It can't.
It can't happen.
So you're going to be feeling afraid, anxious, and alone, and then what do you think you would do if you're feeling that way?
If she leaves, I don't see myself having another relationship again. They always leave. They're just gonna leave again, and I just can't let her go because I can't go through that anymore.
Well, what does a relationship mean to you? Is that something that you really would want to work on in the future?
I need it. I mean, Elena gives it to me. She gives me the relationship that she understands me. And I don't know who else can do that for me. So I need a relationship.
Okay. You need a relationship.
Yeah.
So let's say Elena does leave and you're feeling afraid and anxious. What other relationship could you try to foster to keep you from feeling like you want to pull away, from feeling like you are alone, and from engaging in that kind of negative behavior? What other relationship do you think you could cultivate?
I think my mom tells me often she doesn't want me to be alone.
Your
She wants
mom?
me to work on that relationship. I mean, it will be different, and it won't be the
Course.
relationship with Elena.
Of course.
So I don't know how it would work, but maybe talking to my mom a little bit more.
In ways it could even be more rewarding, a relationship that's close with your mother, since you didn't have a relationship close with your biological mother. I think it would be tough, but I think it could potentially be even more rewarding than the relationship you do have with Elena, in a different way.
Maybe, I mean, Elena understands me, and I don't know if my mom will understand me. Elena loves me, she does. I know my mom does too, but I don't know. I guess I could try.
So let's say that you do cultivate this relationship with your mom and it goes well. You're calling each other, you guys are talking. How would that make you feel?
I guess relief of not being alone anymore. Elena does leave me, like everybody else. Maybe relief that she's still there, my mom's still there, she didn't leave too. Like my biological mom moved.
And then how does that change your original thought of, I can't be without Elena, Elena can't leave me?
I mean, I don't know how I would get through that, but I think maybe having another relationship could help.
So you could handle it then, you think?
I would want to.
We could process it and we could work on it. I know it wouldn't happen overnight. I know relationships are incredibly difficult for you. But you do think it would be possible.
She would be the only person I could imagine having another relationship with.
Mhm.
It's just understanding. It would be different, but it would be something.
Yeah, different but potentially better. Mm-hmm. And you're saying that out of everyone in your life, your mother would definitely be the person that you would want to seek out that relationship with. Because I know you're also close to your sister.
She's younger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she can handle it.
Mm-hmm.
My brother, he's nice. Sometimes we don't really get along. We fight a lot as kids. And he just doesn't understand, he doesn't understand where I come from. This is his mom and dad. These are my foster parents. I don't think he understands. And my little sister, she understands more. She was also adopted by them, but she's young, so I think, my mom always tells me she doesn't want me to be alone. So maybe she does understand. I don't know. I don't know how much she knows or how much she wants to know.
Do you feel secure with your mother that she wouldn't abandon you the way that you feel Alina might be abandoning you in this case? Do you feel like if you did cultivate this relationship with your mom, there's less of a chance of her leaving you down the future? Do you feel secure in that?
A very hard question. Everybody always leaves at the end. Even Elena, who I didn't expect to. She might be leaving, so I don't know. She's my mom, and she went through a very hard time trying to take me. I know, I'm sure it's not easy.
She fought for you.
For my little sister, and all the paperwork, and all the lawyers, and trying to agree with my dad about everything. But I would just have to see. But if it happens, I guess I know I'm ready for it. But I hope it doesn't.
Hi everyone, this will be session 4. I will be working with Christian individuals. Hi Christian.
Hey,
How are you feeling?
better.
Better. That's good. Well, this is our last session.
Yes.
You've come a long way.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What would you like to? Is there anything that you want to discuss right now? What would you take from all the sessions that we've had together?
Yeah. I think I learned a lot about my relationship with my family, and the way that I react to situations has a lot to do with the way that I associate my emotions possibly with my childhood, with my mom Grace, with my dominant Elena, and I think that now obviously I still have some work to do, but I think I have the tools to understand that sometimes things are not completely associated with me. Not everything revolves around me. Like for example, my friend Kyle that I beat up.
Yes.
It had nothing. He didn't know anything about my insecurities and my triggers, and to him it was kind of just a random act of violence. To me, it was kind of a reminder of the past, but I have to remember that is my past and it has nothing to do with him, and he wasn't trying to solicit any feelings or anything like that. So I think definitely understood that and learned a lot about understanding my emotions versus other people's emotions, and understanding that as a first step to hopefully regulating myself, to not be as reactive. Thanks. It's all thanks to you. It's fantastic work, Doc.
Well, it takes two. You would definitely put your work into it.
Yeah.
Nothing would have worked out if you weren't open to the idea of it?
I definitely
and the
wasn't open
experience?
in the beginning.
Yeah, I see. You've come a long way.
Yeah. I guess moving forward, and kind of the future is just keeping in mind that, you know, I'm no longer defined by the past and my trauma that happened in the past, and that I have this amazing family support system for me that's available, and that I'm no longer alone, and I have to recognize that and be able to reach out and ask for support if I need it. Most importantly,
Yes.
for me, I really want to try to develop a healthy relationship. Someone like Anesthesia, random name, but maybe in the future I'll meet this chick named Anesthesia, and maybe I'll have a healthier relationship with her.
Yeah.
I think so. I hope so.
That's
I
good.
hope so. I want to work towards that. Yeah.
Has your relationship with Elliot improved?
Elliot, I think that I am less triggered by his annoyingness, and I'm hoping that as me and Elliot develop and grow older, we'll be able, or I'll be able, as I can't control him, I'll be able to relate better and be more empathetic towards how he's addressing certain issues. I think a lot of our conflicts arise from our childhood and how we interacted as kids, and how he reminded me of some of the abuse.
Yeah.
But he was a kid, and I was a kid, and we were both boys, and we were just being boys, and I need to remember that,
Right.
and not hold that against him, especially as we get older.
Exactly. So now, if any situation presents itself, how would you handle it?
I think first is, you know, to check and understand my emotions, understand where they're coming from. If I get into any kind of rage or anger or anything in general, I need to remind myself to understand where it's coming from. And then from there, hopefully, I'll be able to control it and regulate it, and hopefully eventually not have to be so on top of it. But, yeah.
That's good.
Thanks. It's all thanks to you, Doc.
Is there anything that you would like to go over?